What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a VOD review of my own stream game. Azul did one of mine also. You guys can go check that out. I did watch it. A lot of excellent feedback and a lot of stuff that I kind of reflected on similarly after the game, so we're going to go through that as well. Before we kind of jump into the game, there's been a lot of rumors about what happened on stream, prize penalties, and all that stuff flying around. I'm going to clear that air immediately and address those rumors because I hate rumors. Just go to the source. And I am the source here. So I'm going to clarify these rumors for you guys. And if you hear someone saying something wrong, please set them straight. I played against John Foster round 4 of stream on Salt Lake City Regionals. If you guys didn't know that, I had a lot of fun. It was a blast. Absolutely nervous. First stream game back in 2022 season. I got to be featured. An absolute honor. Thank you so much to Pokemon. But in that game, John Foster drew an extra card in game 1 and game 3. And both times, I just kind of shook my hand, said, keep playing. I don't care. It doesn't affect the game. It was not malicious in either way. John kind of looked and put it back and just said, like, oh, that's my bad. I don't care. I'm not trying to win on rule striking. I hate winning on rule striking if you play like that. In some situations, yes, it's okay to take the penalty, and I'm not going to like ostracize you for taking it or like criticize you. Sorry, is the correct word. But I don't like personally winning that way. I'm there to play and I'm there to compete. It's not a competitor spirit to take those kinds of penalties. And yes, if John had taken that extra card, I didn't catch it, and a lot of actions had happened. There's no way to prevent that. But that did not happen. And then in game 3, at the very end of the game, this is a spoiler. I'm sorry for those who didn't care. John did announce an attack after Technoblast and shuffled his Pokemon in, but that's not why there was no penalty, nothing there. We were going to have a penalty there, but I just said, let's revert back to the attack step because it's still turn 1 of John's thing, and he declared an attack, meaning he is now in the attack phase. And then John was like, I'm going to concede the game, and I was like, okay, we're going to just take it back to the attack step really quickly. I have the energy as well to retreat and just attack back into your Mew, and the game ends here. So that's a full clarification of what happened. And I also drizzled for a Zigzagoon on my end, but I had both a quick ball and a level ball in deck, and when time got called, I'll kind of talk about it in the game as well. My mind just blanked a little bit, and then I went to the judges immediately after the game to talk to them. Because I saw it on Facebook and someone else had come up and told me. And as soon as I went up to the judges, they looked over it and they told me straight up that I would have been penalized. They can't do me any favors, of course. They said I would be penalized if they deemed that it was a game-breaking advantage, but because I had both Level Ball and Quick Ball in the deck, and I drew into one of them later, which is a detriment to myself, it was ruled that I actually put myself at a disadvantage by shortcutting in that manner. So there was no penalty applied. If not, I probably would have gotten not double price penalty, a game loss heading into the next round. So I wanted to clarify all that before we start even going into my VOD review. So for those of you who have supported me and said kind words, I really appreciate it. There's a lot of people out there saying some really nasty things to my opponent. Don't do that. Like, just don't do that, man. Like, going up on stream is really nerve-wracking as it is. Don't say nasty stuff to my opponent. Don't say nasty stuff to me either. A lot of people are speaking on me, saying I took these penalties, did these things, when they don't even know me. You don't even know me. So please, this is a parasocial relationship. I'm just going there to play Pokemon, and it should not bother you whether or not I take some penalties. I didn't because of my moral compass, but if someone else takes them, you should not be harping on them. Like, just, that's my, like, 10 cents to you guys, and I don't, I'm very irritated about that has to even be a topic. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the match. I don't exactly know where it starts. I literally had walked back from lunch, and it had been about 30 seconds. I walked to my table, and I saw Christine Noah, who is the usual stream runner and official TPCI person. I know Christine very well personally, and she goes, "Are you happy to see me?" And I was like, "Oh no, I know what this means. We're going on stream." And so I just finished eating. John and I had some very nice banter throughout this game, making jokes, SpongeBob memes, whatever, trying to ease the tension for both of us. It was, John had an old-time player. I believe he top 8 at regionals with Rayquaza. So John had been in the scene prior. We're going to see the prize cards here. You can see instantly my Sydney is prized and my Bibarel were prized. And I knew the Sydney was prized because I checked for that every time in the Mew matchup to start a 1-1 Arceus as well. And from John, the 4th Fusion Strike Energy being prized is absolutely huge for me. So we're going to go ahead. And I didn't know Cross Switcher was in the deck. So I'll kind of talk through my thought process a little bit. I did play very, very poorly in this set. I don't know if it was nerves. I don't know if it was just a combination of not knowing what was in John's deck and like kind of panicking a little bit being on stream, or just trying to play as best as I could. And in that process, I managed to kind of choke. I want to say, like, choke it harder than I should have. And I opened the Bidoof, as you see here. Something probably I did not want to do. And then John opens the Battle VIP Pass, and we're joking around. I'm like, oh, there it is. There's number 2. And I think we were singing some stuff like the Krusty Krab is where you have fun or something. I don't know. We were having a blast in our game. And then John confidently grabs the Meloetta, so I'm pretty confident that, he's going to go for the play. I see the Fog Crystal here, which indicates that either they're playing for Search or Psychic Energy, which means now I know my Sydney is less useful. And in my mind, I don't know how many DTEs are being played. So I'm like, is it 1 DTE? Is it 2 DTEs? Is it no DTEs? Like, what is the list going to be there? And so we see the draw come through, and this is where John draws an extra card, and I immediately stop him as soon as I realize that there's 6 in hand. And then the penalty goes through for a couple minutes. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit while the penalty gets resolved. I offer to Will says that it's going to the stream judge Will Beers says it's going to be de-escalated to a simple warning or a caution or whatever, and then a sleeve rips, and then he says, would you like to appeal it to the head judge? Which I know in that situation, had I appealed, I would get a double prize penalty in my favor, and I said I would like to not appeal. Let's just continue playing. I don't care. It's completely like, he didn't shuffle his hand or anything. That's the card. I pointed it out. The judge has to ask, do you both agree that that's the card? And we can both agree that that's the card because I know he didn't shuffle his hand around. I was able to catch it very quickly. I was thinking, so I didn't catch it instantly, that's entirely my bad. I was thinking about my hand and what plays to make heading in. And I think I was taking a couple of deep breaths because I was really, really nervous. I can't stress it. And then on the right side, you can see I'm doing my own counter for the Genesex and the tablets and stuff like that, because I want to make sure that I'm doing my own due diligence. And then John kind of keeps his hand, and I have to play my turn now. Now with my hand, I'm going to go ahead and level ball. I'm going to get kind of set up. And obviously going second against Mew is really scary as Arceus, because Mew can always just pop my Arceus. I have no indication of knowing that there's a peony in his list yet, or a cross switcher. So I'm not playing around any of these pieces at the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and quick ball. I think as well to get an Arceus. And I think just the plan is to get 2 Arceus out as possible. And I think my hand is just really bad, actually. I think it's Charon's Care, Scoop Up Net, DTE, or the 3 remaining cards. Or something of that nature. Or maybe Drizzle. So I go ahead and do this play. And I draw a couple cards. I try to hit an Arceus, and I don't. Which really sucks. So I path because I'm just trying to play the game here. I don't know if that path is absolutely necessarily correct, but I think it's fine to do so. And I go ahead and keep calling, getting to Sabo, knowing that if I can get an Arceus down next turn with an attachment, I can still play the game. But Crobat already being on my bench is a really bad sign, because Mew wants to go boss and take those 2 knockouts. So John in this situation is going to start kind of showing me the peony and stuff like that. He Ultra Balls away and he shows a peony here, and I'm like, oh, there's a peony. And I was like, okay, that's a mental note. I got to make sure that I remember that that's in the deck. And then the Ultra Ball comes through for the Mew VMAX, setting up both. And I made a mental note that John immediately evolved into the Mew VMAX, and that means that he is not setting up for any Psychic Leap plays. And we see the Stadium Bump for the Rose Tower. In my head, I'm also thinking I can use the Rose Tower because my hand is not good still. Yeah, it's just not a good hand. I think I'm going to have to Drizzle for a Research on my turn, which does not feel good, especially given the circumstances. And John is, off to the races. 2 Mews in play, attachment on the active, Choice Belt already there, a Stadium. I don't really like John getting rid of the quick balls with his own quick ball. I'm making mental notes that he's getting rid of his discard cards with his discard, which is important. It's very important to note, because later in the game, if all his discard cards are gone, he might get stuck under path, is what I'm thinking. And that's a very real possibility. So we see the fusion come down. I think it was just an Alessis as well. I wanted to make sure I was not sharking or anything in that situation. I just wanted to make sure that a stream judge did not say something, or no one else said something. And so I think in my mind I said in mic, if I don't say it, the judge will. And Will said I was about to say something, or something of that nature. Because you do have to target both your Pokemon before Alessis. I just wanted to make sure everyone was clear for stream stuff, and I didn't want to get sloppy. And now John played a ton of cards on his turn, so now I'm counting his quick balls, his ultras, and all that stuff real quickly, and I make a mental note of the peony, all that stuff. I top deck into an Ultra Ball, which I'm like, okay, hell yeah. And I think an Evo Incense, so I'm going to go ahead and Evo Incense for the Drizzle. I think just grabbing Research here probably is what I did, I think, based on my hand. Based on how the board is going, I have to play aggressively. I can't get that Path Marnie turn off that I've been looking for all game, really. I have to go ahead and Ultra Ball away both Inteleons, which really sucks, because now I know I'm stuck without Inteleons for the rest of the game. And having that Shaded Dealings for 2 is really good. Or the quick shooting to ping. At this point, I don't know my opponent's playing Oricorio either, so having that ping plus 180 is really good against against Genesect. So I draw for 1 with the Rose Tower. And I'm going to go ahead and quick ball away the Sabo, getting a second Arceus. So pretty ideal scenario now. I'm still really, really far behind. I would have also liked, on that Evo Incense, I remember I think that's the moment I realized B-Roll was prized. And I go ahead and attack with the Salvo. Okay, this is a moment I really think I should have Trinity Charged. Like, I don't know why I didn't Trinity Charge. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, I have the Melanie, I have a Water and Discard. I can set all that up, and I'm just really, really far behind. So I think I've already, like, mentally conceded this game in a way, and I don't think that's a good thing. But I attacked with Sobble for no good reason. I think keeping Sobble alive and being able to just Trinity Charge and set up another Arceus was probably the correct play, because, that Arceus has to stay alive, but I think I was thinking, if I have to force John to find a boss under this path, maybe it's okay. But John's got, like, a 7-card hand at this point, so I'm not, like, in a good spot at all. And they immediately dropped the stadium, and I think I've already, like, mentally, like, half conceded this game. I'm just kind of playing it out for information, unfortunately. I don't know where I was thinking. I know that's, like a grievous misplay, not Trinity Charging that turn. Especially because I know I have energies in my deck. I know I can still play the game. Like, it's not like all my energies are in my hand or they're in my discard or something. It's like, and in this situation, I think John ends up making a mistake. He double tablets. And we're going to see the draws from the Genesect. I'm keeping track as well as keeping track here. And we're going to see the Evo Incense, which is also a cute card to be playing with the Peony engine as well. The 2 tablets being burned, I don't really know if that's necessary. I think, obviously I think John's looking for the boss. I know he's digging for it, and I'm thinking in my mind, okay, the 2 tablets got played. That is really good. That's really good for me if I can live this turn. If they miss the boss for some reason, with those 2 tablets being burned, I have a really good shot at winning this game now. And that's why I kind of stick it out, I think, from this situation. And then there's a Peony, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? That's a second Peony, I think. And so now I'm counting. That's a 3rd tablet hitting the discard. I think that's all 4, actually. And I'm like, wait a minute. I can stay in this game. So I'm thinking, I caught my opponent's deck real quick, and they grabbed the double cross switcher. And so they're going to go ahead and cross switcher. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh my god, they just burned all these resources for no reason. I think, and they go into the Meloetta. And so I think if John had not gone into the Meloetta, I lose the game, like, right there kind of thing. Because I'm going to hit into the Mew, and then they have 2 Mew VMAX set up, basically. And they can just rotate between the 2 Mews to kind of just poke at me. And I basically don't have enough cards to kind of play the tempo game. But now I'm thinking I can just slam. If this would have been a turn I go Path Sydney if I had the cards, because my opponent's going to take 1 card or 2 cards off their prizes, and if I can rip whatever potential stadium they hit there, that would be really, really good. But I think I would have also just, I'm going to Path regardless this turn, because I think they're going down to a fundamentally like 3-card hand, and I would like to stick them here. And so I finally get my V-Star off. A little bit like late, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and grab Melanie Path, I think, with the 2 cards I ended up grabbing. I have a choice belt. The choice belt's still in deck. And I think that is important to note for later in the game. I think I mess up with the Big Charm again. I like overcommit my Big Charms really, really badly in this matchup. And that's like a really pivotal mistake. I ultra away 2 waters because the training court's still in play, and I want to go ahead and grab an energy back with the training court. So this is exactly what I do here. Yep, perfectly. And then I go, John asked how I did that. I explained. I dropped the Big Charm here. I think one of the Crobat or the first Arceus has to stay alive. But I think this is a mistake. I think this is a mistake to Big Charm because John's down 3 tablets, so I know this Arceus never dies. So if I Big Charm this and I get hit into, it's like not a big deal because I want to Charon's care of this anyway. Plop it back down on the potential next turn, and I could go for like a boss. Or I guess if I Charon's care, I can't boss, huh? But eventually, I want to be able to boss a Genesect. So that's my game plan. I have to go through 1 Mew VMAX, and then I have to Genesect. So I guess it doesn't really matter with this one in particular. But eventually it's going to matter. And then I realized I messed up the Big Charm because I think I wanted the Big Charm here every single time. And that's like, I like make the monumental F up because I know I'm like, wait, if he just bosses my Arceus, I can't win the game. But if they go boss, they're going to go for the Crobat and Bidoof. And I don't know how many boss they play because the cross switcher at this point. So I'm kind of like a little bit distraught or in shambles, I guess. Like my mind is like racing. I like can't figure out counts right now. And I get the B-Barrel off the prices, which is kind of pog. Actually pretty good price to take there. Can't complain. Thank God he came. B-Barrel, the one my B-Barrel was actually super, super good. And we're going to see, I think, the Meloetta again, indicating that I now know there's 2 Meloetta. And I think John said some verbal cue indicating that his hand was a little bit dead, and he goes ahead and Melodious Echoes. I'm going to go ahead and get the Beebs. I'm going to get the Ultra Ball, grabbing the other Arceus VSTAR, and I think I have to retreat this turn. I think this turn's the turn I have to retreat. I'm looking for the Palpad with the B-Barrel more than anything, or a Net, I think, to reset my hand, or my Drizzles. There's the net. Super happy about that. Attach retreat. There's a boss in my hand, but so maybe there's a world where I boss and just like hit the Genesect this turn and just take the knockout. But I think hitting into the Mew was like putting more pressure on because now I'm going to force my opponent to Technoblast. And I know that I can dig for the Pal Pad or like guarantee the Pal Pad with my Drizzle. And my deck is thin enough that I can maybe draw back into the Charon's Care this turn. But even if that doesn't happen, I think I'm like in a really okay spot by just hitting in. Because I've counted a lot of John's energy and a lot of it's gone already. And I'm feeling pretty good about myself this game now. There's the Pal Pad I top deck. Absolutely insane top deck. I think I literally said like, oh, nice. That's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Melanie and the Charons. And I'm going to go ahead and Drizzle, just giving the Charons back to hand. Yeah, and this turn, I reset the bench because I think I'm out of DTEs here, or I have one left maybe. So resetting the bench one is correct, in my opinion. I should not slap the Big Charm back down again. I'm going to make the same mistake, I'm pretty sure. There I do. Yeah, god damn it. Okay, so I should not have done that. If I go ahead and if I like save the spot for the Choice Belt, which is still in my deck, I'm pretty sure I can win off the boss next turn, which I like know I have in hand. So the Oricorio comes down, which is information that John gives me that I shouldn't get in this first game. But if they don't have an attack, they should just scoop it here like they would have already. Yep, and there goes John's scoop. But the Oricorio gave me information I did not need to know. So I now have information where I know that Oricorio is in their deck. So if they end up slamming it early, I'm going to be hitting for 160, which is really annoying if I can't get the Inteleon up. And I probably shouldn't care this game, which is actually very, very important, I think. And then I open the Arceus. My opponent gets the VIP pass again off the bat. They're getting to set up. They're getting to play the game. There's the Mellow. There's the Mew. An Ultra Ball away of the Evo Incense and the Tablet. I don't know if that's necessary, to be honest, on turn 1. I think there's a world where you can hold those cards. Just because the Tablet and the Evo Incense are really, really important for turn 2, I think. Because it guarantees you the knockout on my Arceus a lot of the time here. But we're going to see some draws. And the Fusion Energy, which is, I think, pretty much perfect. Yeah, you always go Mew, though. I don't know why the Meloetta attach comes in. A draw for 1, and John is now stuck. I think I see a Tablet in hand, and then a pass. So I'm still pretty scared. I think attaching to the Mew is always correct here, because then you can attack with the VMAX next turn, and like you don't burn your Fusion Struck energies from John's side. From my side, I'm just looking for an Arceus and energy and hoping that I survive. Or I can Trinity Charge here, which I think is what I'm going to end up doing with the Big Charm. The path. I think that's... Well, I'm researching. That's why I played the path down. Yeah, I played... Oh, my hand sucked here. I drew into all 3 of my remaining double turbos and like 2 waters. So I'm like really scared I'm out of waters too. And this does end up coming back and mattering because I ran out of energies towards the end of the game. Yeah, I ran out of energies towards the end of the game. And 1 boss has already hit the bin, which is something I also should have known. I think I forgot that a boss hit the bin. And then the Training Core comes through, which is kind of nice because I already put a water in the discard. And my hand is like, if you can see, it's DTE, DTE, water, Arceus VSTAR. So I guarantee a VSTAR attack or VSTAR ability next turn. And I don't remember what I grabbed, but I think it was Research maybe. Or maybe Boss. I think I grabbed the Boss path. But I think the path was kind of wasted. The path, I think, was just like a bad play here, actually. A Tablet comes down. And now John's going for the Search. 2. Oricorio. So that does... The Oricorio does significantly matter because now I'm only hitting Genesect for 160. So I can't go Zigzagoon, Ping, knock it out after I hit it, which is actually like something I really wanted to do a bunch of times in this game. So I go ahead and Training Court the energy back. And then I go ahead and V-Star. Why did I grab Path here? I think I grabbed Path. Boss is correct, I think, every time. And Path. I shouldn't grab Path. I don't think it matters because it gives John a card to play from their hand. The Boss is correct, I think, and I probably should have grabbed another V-Star. Just to make sure that my bench V-Star doesn't go down, because now I've given John a target potentially with the boss. So this was like a huge mistake. This is a massive mistake that I made on my end. If I just make this a V-Star and I don't care about the path, I have the cards to like retreat between my 2 Arceuses and get 3 attacks off before an Arceus even goes down, unless there's a boss, which would have been huge. But now John gets to play the game. John gets to bounce my stadium. My hand is uber dead. I don't know what to do. I think I also realized this immediately after I didn't grab the V-Star. What I did. I could have just grabbed Marnie also, I think. No, I had to boss. Maybe I grab a follow-up supporter for next turn. No, yeah, there's the boss. There's like the massive mistake I made coming back to bite immediately. One, the Rose Tower. Boom, boom, boom. Choice belt, there it is. And now I'm actually in a really bad spot. All I had to do was grab the V-Star, and I never get knocked out, which really sucks, because now I'm down so many energies. That's going to end up biting. I get the Drizzle off the top, I think. So I slam the Sydney, and I see that there's 2 peonies here. I'm hoping to hit a stadium so I can maybe path here, because I think I was thinking that John only played 3 stadiums at this point. I'd only seen 3 stadiums in game 1. So I'm thinking I can hit a stadium or a fusion energy and kind of just like win the game off the back of that this turn. And so I just slammed it. And I'm going to go ahead and get the path again here. I don't know why. I don't know. Did I grab path? No, I grabbed quick ball. And I gave John an out to boss something again, which is like another huge mistake. So I'm like really flustered, I think. And I make like a really bad, and I think I got rid of 2 energies again when I did not have to. And I'm very, 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 very confident that I had a quick ball in deck. So I really definitely messed that up. And I go ahead and Rose Tower, and I draw into an Evo Incense, which is good. But I also accelerate the water here, which once again I shouldn't have done because I end up running out of energy towards the end of the game. So a massive mistake from me. And John now has 9 cards to play with. I know there's a rope in John's hand and a peony and all these cards. So I kind of threw this game. I like really. I don't think there's a world where I actually lose this game if I play it correctly, because I was so far ahead. I was just so far ahead after burning the 2 energies. In my mind, I'm like thinking a sigh of relief that the Meloetta, or like he's gonna kill Drizzle this turn, and if he kills Drizzle, I'm like I still win this game. I can't lose. But then I also remember there's the peony. And then John goes and Ultra Balls away both peonies, and I was like, whoa, we're not getting cross-switchered this turn. That's awesome. Little did I forget the boss also exists. I think in my mind I was thinking that's a misplay. Maybe I have a chance now. I don't know what I was thinking. I like thought I had a chance. And then we're going to see John draw some cards. There's the Fog Crystal. I think John already has a double cross-switcher in hand at this point, which is like really bad for me. The Oricorio is like a huge pain. Like the Oricorio is a massive pain because I could have, started lining up for the knockout on Genesect the following turn. We're going to see the Alessa Sparkle coming through. I'm taking a look at this card real quick. This is bad for me because now John can set up a new Mew to attack me with, which means that I won't be able to get my 3 prizes for free. I think both boss have hit the bin now, so I need to get a... Yeah, that sucks! Oh! So that goes down. And so I made like a gigantic mistake there. I've already watched this VOD like 3 times, and I've like told myself I made the mistake tons of times. And John goes ahead and tablets and goes in with the new Mew, which I completely agree with. Because at this point, I think John's out of so many tablets that 2-shotting my Arceus is the win con anyway. And this means I can only play with 1 Arceus again. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Inteleon here. I think we're going to go for the Path Marnie. I think that's like our only like saving grace. I think we have to go Path Marnie. And in my mind, I'm thinking I have to establish another Arceus, because if he hits into me, I lose the prize exchange because I can't go. I have to share and scare at some point, which really sucks because of the Oricorio. Or I could like maybe Palpad like double boss this turn or something. But I know I have to. I know I have to get another Arceus down, I think, because this way, even though I'm giving John a target, I have to be able to share and scare, and I know it's in my prizes. The problem is that, like, I think at this point when I realize it's in my prizes, I should have scooped, because there's no way I'm taking any prizes this game. So I'm maybe hoping Path Marnie sticks, but even that isn't enough at this point. John's deck was like 4 cards, so that's the only reason I cut the Marnie, because his entire hand was in his deck. The Goon doesn't even matter here, math-wise. So I go ahead and get the Sobble. And I think this is where I should have scooped. I mean, I had like 2 minutes where I should have scooped, I think. When I understood the situation was doomed. And I have no energy left. So I can't even set up an Arceus next turn. I'm out of DTEs. Like, I've done so many things wrong at this point. Like, this is just like a lesson of, like, to me, to, like, not mess up. This actually, like, physically hurts me watching because I know I should have scooped. And, like, in my mind, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking I should have scooped. And for some reason, I held on, thinking that John might make a mistake. But when he indicated he's attacking with the new Mew, that's the moment I should have scooped. Like, the new Mew is like a nail in the coffin, basically. Because I know that John will no longer make that mistake and just go back and forth between the Mews. And I will never be able to win the game. And John attacks here, and he does a crazy good play with 270, meaning that next turn he can just go copy the Oricorio, and I Melanie real quick to see if I can do anything, which I also, again, should have scooped. And then I realize immediately, like, as I'm palpadding, I think mid-palpad, I, like, realize, mid-palpad, I realize that John can just beat me with, the Oricorio dance. And, I think I scoop right here. I Ultra Ball just to double check everything. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I can win this game. Which, again, I've now burned like 5 minutes off the clock for myself, which really sucks because this game comes down to the wire, and I don't think it should have. If I had, like, you know, 1-2 more turns, it would have been a really convincing looking win. And so I'm piling real quick just to count all my cards because I did actually lose 2 cards in the first game. They were, like, stuck. They were still in the prizes, and I, like, forgot them, and I was like, where are my last 2 cards? And I don't think I would have caught it till I started setting up, which would have just eaten up more clock off the time. So I just pile shuffled just to, you know, just to count my cards real quick, because I don't normally pile shuffle. I just do a bunch of riffles, and I shuffle in between games and after the game. So now I'm like, John and I are both, you know, fine with a tie. Honestly, 3-0 to 3-1 is not a big deal. But obviously, I think I have the bigger chance to lose, to be honest. Like, I'm really scared that Mew's just gonna, like, rock me, and so I want to still play quick. I don't want to, like, go into the tie bracket if possible. And I prize Palpet and P2 again, but it's good that they're coming off the early prizes. Now we see a Fusion Strike Energy prize from John, which is huge on turn 1, especially. It's like a 40-something% chance, like 43% chance, I think, of one being prized in the deck, which is not low odds, for example. My hand sucks. My hand sucks like complete ass. So, like, sorry, I didn't mean to curse. So, I mean, I have to just, like, bank on it. I also opened Crobat. Like, my hand would have been insane if I had Crobat, right? Like, my hand's insane if I have Crobat, and I just can't discard any other cards, so I just go attach Big Charm, pass. And I'm like, okay, for the love of God, please, 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 please. And so now John is going gung-ho. Double Battle VIP Pass. I don't want to see that turn 1. I didn't Quick Ball again because I have to keep my hand for Ultra Ball for Arceus, is what I'm thinking in my head. If I Quick Ball again, I'm too short on cards. I'm like 1 short on cards. I figured Big Charm would be a better use of my investment, because Big Charm means that he needs 2 modifiers over 1. And John gets everything out turn 1. The Oricorio does end up mattering. And then there's a rope. I'm over here shaking my head a little bit. The 2 tablets, you can see my facial expression. You can see how defeated I start to look. I think at some point I started praying. I'm not a man of religion, a man of faith, or anything of that nature. But I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure I started praying. And now John's going to get rid of 2 Cross Switcher, which is actually huge for me. And I think he verbally said, I don't know if I should get rid of these. And then he said, I have to risk it for the biscuit. And dude, I respect the hell out of that. Like, if you knock out I'm pretty confident if he knocks out the Arceus, I would have scooped right here. Like, I'm pretty confident I would have just, with my head, I would have scooped. I would have just scooped and said, let's go next. And John draws into 1 Fusion Strike Energy. And I'm like, oh, baby. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't know it yet. I think he has not let out a verbal cue at this point. And then John goes ahead and Ultra Balls again, getting rid of more cards. You'll notice I'm going to fist bump in a second, I'm pretty sure. And when I fist bump is when John, like, lets me know verbally, like, verbal cue, that he doesn't get it. And that's, like, the moment I'm like, oh, hell yeah, we can play the game. So John goes ahead and draws his cards. He draws into the other Fusion Strike Energy, and he laughs, and he says, I don't get it. And there I fist bump like this real quick, because John says, oh, man, this is, like, the worst thing that could have happened to me or something. And I was like, did you draw into both energies? And he goes, yeah, I drew into 2 Fusion Strike Energies. And then I'm, like, really excited. Now also see, I think the Big Charm was fine that turn, but had I not Big Charmed, I get to play the game. Now, I don't think the path is necessary. I grabbed the path because I don't want John to play any cards on this next turn. I'm hoping that he overextended to a point where he has to, like, play Peony or something with that big hand for no reason. And I just want to play the game. And now I'm playing fast because I know that I have a chance to win, and I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 160. If the Oricorio is not down, if John was not smart enough to get the Oricorio there, I actually just lock this game up because I can go hit for 180, boss hit for 180, or I can go boss next turn, kill the Mew. If he doesn't VMAX it, and then I can hit a Genesect for 180, and then I can just ping both of them with the Zigzagoon, and I can win the game. So John goes in, attaches, and passes, and I'm now over the moon. Like, I think there's a world where I don't boss the Meloetta, but in my mind, I'm like, I don't know exactly how much time is left. because the time extension. I believe they told us the time extension was like 4 minutes, but I don't know that we have 4 minutes left before the time extension. I don't know if the time extension has been applied yet already, actually. So I'm playing like lightning speed, and I'm like, I think the best thing to do is just kill the Meloetta, eliminate the threat, and I can't lose the game kind of thing. But maybe there's a world where I boss up the Genesect again. Like if I think the Oricorio was not in play, I boss up the other Genesect, hit into that as well, do 180, and John shows that he can't retreat that card. So I can put myself in a spot where I can ping them in the same turn. But yeah, I have to research. No Sobble down turn 1 kind of sucked, because if I got a Sobble down, I think I could have gone reasonably into the Inteleon for the pings, and that could have just won me the game. And I researched, and I'm going to go ahead and attack for the 160. And John went ahead and shuffled, and I said, do you want me to shuffle again? He said, no, I don't care. And so John, huge respect for John to keeping up the pace of play here. And then there's the Peony off the top, I believe that was, with the bosses and all that stuff. And there was 2 Psychic in that hand. I think John literally drew into like all the energy in his deck, actually. So he's the Rope Training Court, and he's like, give me a sec, I don't know if I'm going to play it. And I'm like, you're going to play it. So there's the Rope Training Court. I'm going to throw up the other Arceus, because I'm just like, I don't want to give him Sobble, because Sobble gives me a piece next turn to try to win the game. In my mind, I'm thinking about the Zigzagoon play already. Like, I have double net in hand, so the Zigzagoon play is already in my mind. I'm just hoping that I can get the Zig play, attack into him, make it so he can't leap, for example, and put myself in a better spot. And so now the Genesect draws are coming in. I'm getting like really nervous, and he draws an extra card again here, and you can watch what I do. Look. Okay, I'm gonna rewind this by like here. Okay, I watch my hand. I just go, it's fine, just play. Like, I just say, it's fine, let's play. I don't care that you saw that card. 99% of players in that situation take the penalty. I'm not a saint or anything. I just don't care. Like, I just want to play the game. I don't want to win on a penalty. I don't want to win on something stupid like that. I'd rather just win the game of my own volition. And we're going to get the Zigzagoon ping here. Okay. So I can explain exactly what happened here. So I will pause it when I'm pretty sure time gets called. So the timer's not actually completely 100% accurate, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and drizzle search. And as I'm searching, I move the quick ball to the front of the deck, right? And I know there's a level ball in my deck too, and I double check that. And at this moment, Will calls time. Like right here, Will calls time. And I'm like, oh no, I can't win anymore. And then I like froze for a second, and I grabbed the Zigzagoon. I'm really sorry. Like, you guys know that I'm like not trying to like scamaz or like be shady here. It's just, I have the level ball on deck, and I have the quick ball on deck, and I know exactly what I'm trying to do. So it's just, I just, at this point, I'm like really scared that he knows that he can leap. I also forgot that he Technoblasted. So that's going to come up in a second here, and I'm going to go ahead and Melody for 3. There's a level ball that I was supposed to play, so I'm going to go ahead and, get in trouble for that. I'm going to go ahead and double ping, take the prize here, the 2 prizes here. I'm hoping to hit the Palpad, which I do end up hitting the Palpad. Yeah. The level or quick, it didn't matter, actually. I would have been fine either way kind of deal. Like, I had both the search cards, and it ended up, the judges ended up determining that it was a detriment to myself to do it. I'm going to go ahead and play the path and attack in. And now John needs to find a switching out and a way to attack into me. And so there's the Fog Crystal. I have set it up so I perfectly have the boss, I'm pretty sure, in hand. Or all the pieces to find the boss. So I'm really confident that I can't lose here. And there's the Rose Tower. There's the attachment. And there's a boss up on the Crobat. I think John says, give me something that can't be netted. And then we're going to see the draw from the Genesect, the Choice Belt. And then John goes ahead and Psychic Leaps here and says, I think that's going to be a tie. And I was like, hey, man, I can't blame you for playing for the tie. And the shuffle happens, and I'm going to pause it exactly when... So I'm like, there's nothing I can really do. I'm like shrugging my shoulders. I'm like, I'll play out my turn. And then we both look to the crowd because Isaiah Bradner runs up to the crowd, arms waving, like screaming, yelling. There's like 40, 50... The crowd is massive. The crowd is absolutely massive at this point. Isaiah is yelling, waving his arms, screaming. He's going, stop. And we can't hear what he's saying because of the headphones. And I look at his mouth, and he's repeating the words Technoblast. And I realize it right here. So I go, you already Technoblasted last turn. And so what then ends up happening is, the game is going to end here, but I explained this at the very beginning of the video. And so John goes, I'm going to go ahead and concede. Am I going to get a penalty for this? And then Will says, I think we can reverse it back to the attack step. And he said, do you want to escalate it? I said, no, I think we can put it back. He said, do you remember the cards? And I said, yes, it's Psychic, fusion, the Mew VMAX, the choice belt. Let's revert it back to the attack step. And then John goes, okay, that's fine. And then John's like, I'm still going to scoop it. And I'm like, we can go back to the attack step. You don't have to scoop. And then I show John, I think here, wait. And then he scoops it there, but I go ahead and show, John the DTE, saying that I can also retreat and attack there. So the game is over anyway. You didn't actually like get a penalty or anything. So it's like a fine game. I said, are you cool with that? And well, like I confirmed with both of them that I'm okay with letting that slide. There should be no penalties moving forward. I think John gets a caution. I got a caution for everything that happened on stream, and then I ended up winning. A super stressful game. A lot of mistakes. I obviously didn't play as clean as I wanted to. I'm really sorry, guys. It'll be better moving into the rest of the season. I'm hoping I get featured more. I'm hoping they don't like kick me off stream for this. But thank you guys for watching. Obviously, I apologize, and if you hear any rumors, please debunk them. I don't want anything going towards John. I don't want anything said about me either. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate everyone who sticks up for me, who cheered me on this weekend. Absolutely phenomenal reading that Twitch chat. I was like cheesing every time I saw someone I knew say my name or cheer for me. It was absolutely amazing. Video was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but thank you guys so much, and I will be back a different day.